Hey there, it's Anonymous T. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe to both of my channels. So in this video, you guys, we are talking Love Island USA Season 6 because it was part 1 of movie night. However, for like the first 50 minutes or so, it was a lot of fluff. It was a lot of fluff. It was too much Aaron and Kaylor going back and forth. They're telling each other they love each other and all these things after all the toxicity. Then we have the triangle of Dea, Serena, and Cordell. Dea sees that basically she's being ignored. She tries to confide in Kendall, and for some reason, Nicole got in her feelings and decides to sit on Kendall's lap and start kissing on him when Dea's trying to ask for advice about Cordell, because she sees that she's being ignored and mugged off. So nonetheless, she is trying to find the best way to just end this, to just dead this all together. Then we have a cute scene with Janae and Kenny, in which Kenny basically says that he's all about Janae, that he wants her, he's missed her, and then they start kissing in soul ties, I believe. So nonetheless, we have that. Then we have the text message that essentially is, you know, a couple can go to the hideaway. 4 weeks into the show, you guys, mind you, we have 2 weeks left for the USA show. And finally, 4 weeks in, somebody's going into a hideaway because there are no stable couples, you guys. So nonetheless, everybody shouts out for Kendall and Nicole, and I wasn't feeling it at all. Now, I will say what they've done with the hideaway is nice. It seems like they've expanded it to be its own villa. So I think that's pretty cool. Like before, you usually just go through the doors and just see like the bed and, like whatever else. But this time around, it's like an extended villa. Everything was really decorated. They had the hot tub. They had like extra seating areas. And then when you actually go inside to the quote-unquote proverbial bedroom, it was like a very nice bed, very nice decorations, had, of course, like the different neon lights of various sayings. And then, of course, you have like the closet door full of naughty games to play and all of that. I believe it was Daniela possibly that loaned her lingerie over to Nicole is what it felt like, but I'm not sure, but I feel like that's what happened because I recall Daniela pulling out this little sequin or rhinestone number, so nonetheless, I feel like it came from her, but nonetheless, I wasn't interested in their hideaway, you guys. I was not. It was a lot, and I would have fast forward through it, but the problem was they were sprinkling in between all of the other stuff. Like I wanted to see Janae, I wanted to see what was going on with some of the other Islanders. So unfortunately, I had to suffer through this tomfoolery. So in between this, Kenny pulls Kathy to a chat. I think her name's Kathy. I don't even know. She's barely on the show. I think it's Catherine. But basically pulls her, lets her know that he is into Janae. And she basically is like, I know. She's like, I love Janae and all these things. And I've got to say, Janae is working the room. Janae is doing what you're supposed to do as a Love Islander, which is be cool with everyone, even your ops, even your haters, even the people who have been disrespectful to you. Kill them all with kindness. And that is where Janae excels. So people are making fun of Janae because when she was talking to Kenny, they kept calling her a pygmy because she made some comment about changing his oil and that she would build a couch for him. You guys, Janae is joking. Janae says whatever is going to come to her mind depending on who she's coupled up with. Now all of a sudden this is her favorite couple with Kenny, even though they're currently not even in a couple. You guys have to take it for what it is. The problem is you guys take everything too seriously. And then we have Miguel and Leah where they're doing fist bumps and handshakes that they're all in for each other. And it's giving Miguel is regretting, you know, breaking things off with Sierra because he definitely was into her, definitely wanted to pursue her. But it feels like he switched gears and is trying to ride the wave of the popularity of Leah and her fans, which I think is a huge mistake. And thinks that he has the win, thinks they're securing the bag. But there was nothing intimate about that conversation at all. There was nothing romantic. There was no spark. So I have no idea what Leah fans are seeing, you guys. Then we have Kane, who out of nowhere is just over Liv, just wants nothing to do with Liv. But instead of telling Liv, he decides to tell Sierra that first, and tell Sierra that he's thinking of, pursuing some things with her and wants to know where her head is at. And she said, well, previously it was with Miguel, but Miguel basically has left her alone. And I don't understand what was the point of Casa if you were going to just bring all these girls back and dispose of them. It was like you just wanted them to physically be there in the villa to make your OG girl jealous. But if you were going to literally all drop them, less than a couple of days later, what was the point of all of this? What was the point? Stand in your choice. What happened to saying, the day that you come back at the Casa Amor recoupling, you're going to get to know both women and make a decision, but it seems as though these Casa girls just got quickly disposed and just had to fend for themselves out in the villa, with the exception of Daniela, you guys. So, nonetheless, we have that going on. Then the following day, we have, Dea, she's just too through with Cordell. She wants to break things off with him because she knows that he wants to break things off with her, and she's tired, right? So she has a little pep talk with Serena and lets Serena know that, hey, I'm dumping him. I don't care what he has to say, and blah, 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 blah. Nonetheless, then Day is making breakfast. Then Cordell kind of comes over and is like, hey, you want to talk now? Like, no formal, like, no good morning, no, hey, how are you? It's just like, hey, you want to talk now? Like, Cordell is so cold now to Dea. And I feel like deep down, he feels a way about that Odell Beckham Jr. tweet. No matter what he says, I think he chilled once once that tweet was read, and it probably triggered him. It probably made him think of all the times all these other women that, he thought was into him, and really they were just in contact with him to get at his brother. But since Dea's family and friends have all spoken out that none of this was true, that this was like a flat out lie to basically, tarnish her reputation, tarnish her character, to basically segue a reunion between Serena and Cordell, which I think also is not a good look. But nonetheless, Dea, she was trying to, steer the conversation because she knew where it was going. But basically said, listen, we can just end this. Like, you don't need to give me like a whole sob story or all of this. You lied to me. You said when we got back to the villa, you were going to get to know both of us. And he was like, but I told you I was feeling Serena more. But she was like, but you basically ghosted me since you've been back at this villa, and it's very disrespectful, and you're a liar. And so then Cordell tried to explain himself, and then Dea just said, you know what, I'm done. And just walked away, you guys. Just walked away. Called Cordell a piece of garbage, and then said hello to the men as she was walking by. And then Serena, Janae, and Leah, they're watching from the beanbags and being nosy, and like Janae's like looking down in her sunglasses and all the things. And it's just a hot mess. And then Dea comes over to Serena to give her a recap that, she felt disrespected. She ended things with Cordell and all this and that. And then after she goes, Janae's like, this is ghetto. This is ghetto, but I'm loving it. And that's how I feel as a viewer at this point. You can't be attached to these islanders. You can't take any of this seriously. You have to understand that it is ghetto, and you love it. So nonetheless, that is what we're sticking with. So nonetheless, Cordell then pulls Serena. He takes her up to, I think, the sun deck or someplace off at the top of the terrace or whatever in the corner. And, now all of a sudden the guys are, warming back up to a Cordell and Serena reunion, except for Serena. Cordell is trying to tell, Serena that he's into this, that he's into her, that he wants to pursue her fully, that he made a mistake with bringing back Dea and all these things. And at this point, I think Cordell gets a kick out of Serena being mad at him and Serena treating him like crack. I mean, not crack. Treating him like crap. I think he must get a kick off of it. Because it makes him want her more. It makes him follow her more like a puppy dog. And it's so wild to me. Because if this was the other way around, if this was a man treating a woman like this, there would be so much outrage, you guys. But it is crickets. And what happened to the people who said that Serena was standing on business? She's not standing on business. She's about to take back Cordell in less than 2 business days, you guys. And then she kept trying to smile and play it off like she wasn't about to take Cordell back, but she's going to. and talking about she needs some time to think. You know what the decision is, Serena. There's only a couple weeks left to the show. Either you're going to pursue things with him or you're going to go home. Like it's not rocket science. But nonetheless, I think, movie night proved that some people made some premature decisions, and it reared its ugly head. So they do the typical, everybody gets ready now the evening for movie night. Janae's dress, she had on like this silver like one-piece outfit that was just killing it. And I love her hair with like the crimp, it's like the crimp style of her wig or whatever. It was cute. And then we have Kayla in the background admitting that she is a BBL. And I was like, oh, okay. And so then, but how the movie night goes is the men sit on one side, the women sit on the other. They make some creative movie titles inserting the names of the Islanders. And then basically they'll ask questions about dating and sex and all these things. And whoever, whatever the number is, whoever has the closest number wins that round and gets to choose what movie clip they want to watch, right? So the movie clips that got exposed tonight was Kendall riling all the guys up at Casa Amor, got dragged for it because the girls were not into it. We saw the clip that probably caused the most drama. Well, one of the most drama was when Liv and Kaylor was telling Rob that basically Leah orchestrated Andrea's dumping from the villa and that she was the one that kind of spearheaded everything because Rob said that Leah told him that she took a back seat to it all. And so that caused all this drama amongst the women because Leah was going off on Liv, and then she made this comment because I guess Kaylor was trying to come in and defend Liv in this argument against Leah, and Leah makes the comment, oh, don't use those white woman tears. And I was like, uh-oh. Because Kaylor had put her arm up, her hand up like she was afraid like Leah was going to slap her or something. Like it was so weird. And so then things were just escalating. And so Leah's like, listen, we're going to agree to disagree, blah, 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 blah. Like I'm over it. But then Liv kept going and Janae was like, okay, can we calm it down? I thought we resolved this issue. Why are you guys feeding back into this again? And then Liv snaps at Janae. But Janae wasn't trying to defend either party. She was trying to de-escalate what was happening. And Liv completely misinterpreted. But Serena proved once again that she is going to defend Leah's behavior no matter what. And I say roll the tapes. We need the actual footage of who started what conversation. We need the full conversation of Andrea's dumping, of who said what and who did what. Because I recall Leah speaking first that she wanted Andrea gone. But nonetheless, there's that, right? Then we had this other clip of Aaron. I thought they were going to show us, because I guess somebody had said to Kaylor as they were getting ready, like, you're going to get the worst of it, right? And she was like, well, gee, thanks. And it's coming from the person who knows all of the inappropriate things that they were doing with Aaron at Casa. Can you make it make sense? But nonetheless, the one clip that they showed of Aaron on this episode was the one where he is creating a handshake with Daniela. And then that also, upset Kaylor. And then also she thought she was seeing the same clip that was sent to her while they were at Casa of, the girl sitting on Aaron's lap, except for she didn't see the extended scene, which was them making out in pure daylight with no camera, like nothing surrounding a challenge or anything. And Kaylor felt a certain type of way. So she was upset about that, of course, but basically said at this point that she has no more tears to cry, that she is all cried out, you guys. So there was that. Then we also have a clip of Serena saying at the beginning stages how she's not into Cordell, how she feels that he is not intellectually sound, that he doesn't know what he wants to do with his life, is weirded out that he wants to be an actor and said he wants to have a sponsorship with Cheez-Its, and so everybody's like laughing. And so then at first Leah says that Cordell and Serena are becoming her favorite couple, and then she says after that, like, you need a new man, you need somebody that you're going to be all about. And then Serena even says in this clip, like, she doesn't like him like that. Like, she wants somebody that she wants to, like, rip their clothes off and be sexually attracted to and all these things. And then tries to walk it back and says, but I can be a slow burner and all these things. And so these guys, they are looking at Cordell like, Do you see what we're talking about? Do you see the situation? And that's what makes the Serena blow up. I can't go, like, oh my gosh, go Serena, you told Cordell, because she was dragging him like this most of the season. She was not into him until her safety was at risk. Until a bombshell was at risk of taking her man, until she was at risk of going home between her and Hannah, then all of a sudden there's interest. And now she's in the same predicament because right now technically she's vulnerable since Cordell is in a couple with Daya. But she knows that she has to, get this back together because otherwise she's going to be dumped. So, nonetheless, Serena's trying to downplay it. And the thing that kind of agitated me was anytime the clips exposed Serena and Leah, they just, had a laugh about everything. But I felt like what they were saying was really disrespectful and, mean. And needed to be held accountable. And they were just laughing away. And it's it's the lack of self-awareness. It makes sense why Serena and Leah, they are hilarious. They are, two peas in a pot together. Because they enjoy being messy and talking down other people and laughing about it. It was wild. And then the other clip that was shown was, for some reason, production is making Rob look like an absolute victim. And I think it's a huge mistake because now you have Leah fans that are attacking people on social media and attacking production, which is not going to, result in the, changes that they're wanting. I think it's going to make matters worse for them. But nonetheless, it showed the clip of Leah going off on Rob, calling him all these types of names, calling him all these expletives, because basically that was the situation where I believe he was trying to, go full on with Andrea and officially cut things off with Leah. And it was an emotional scene because he wasn't trying to be in a triangle and stuff anymore. But Leah felt away basically because she was being ditched. So she basically cussed him out behind his back. Rob, I don't know if it was acting or not, but he had this reaction where he just was very much upset and, kind of sad. And Leah was trying to apologize for it. Leah actually this time around was super calm because it was Rob. And, then from there, Rob said, listen, I can accept your apology. You're cool to hang around, but I'll never trust you again. And then Aaron goes hard in the paint for Rob as well. And then Serena calls that out. And she's like, why do you have more energy for Rob than you do for all the stuff that you've done to Kaylor? And then Aaron didn't say anything, you guys. But I mean, she wasn't lying. Aaron is the first person to pop up anything involving Rob. They are, together thick as thieves. They cannot leave each other's side. They literally need to be a couple. Literally. Because he cannot, figure out what lie he's going to tell Kaylor next without running it by Rob first. And then immediately running to Rob after the conversation to give him a debrief. So she wasn't wrong there, right? Then, Miguel is seeing these Leah clips and he has the ick. But here's the thing. I don't think he was really into Leah like that to begin with. Outside of whatever, rendezvous they had before Casa. I think he had his eye on the prize. But I think now he is seeing that if this type of behavior is what Leah is doing behind his back, he wants no parts of it. Even though he kind of got a glimpse of it the other day with the 90%, 10% fiasco with Cordell. You saw firsthand how Leah moves, how Leah misinterprets things people tell her to create maximum chaos and maximum drama. So you know who exactly you're dealing with. Right? It's just you chose to ignore it when you felt it was a benefit. But now that you see that all of these negative clips are coming out about Leah and now you're on pause. Now you, literally, he was getting so disgusted right before our eyes. And I was like, this is what you get for ending things with Serena too soon. I mean, not Serena, Sierra too soon, right? So there was that. So we, of course, don't have an episode tonight on Wednesday because they have the day off or whatever. And then we come back Thursday for part 2 of movie night. And I think this is the reason that production is bringing in Cassie as one of the bombshells, because she had mentioned on After Sun that she was interested in Miguel, heavy, and also was interested in Rob. But I don't think Rob is going to ditch Daniela. I think he thinks that she's his ticket. So therefore, he's going to stick with her. But I definitely see a situation where Miguel will move to Cassie because he will feel as though she is not going to act like Leah. And nonetheless, he is going to figure, since Cassie came in second place last year, that he is going to be with somebody that he feels is likable to America, since America is already familiar with Cassie. So some people are speculating because they don't think that if there's a fan vote that Leah will get dumped, but people are speculating that may happen with what they just did in the UK series, which was when you had the bombshells, steal somebody, either the person's at risk or they're dumped immediately, right? So nonetheless, unless they're single, right? So if they're single already, then obviously they just couple up with the person. But if that person is in a couple, then whoever, they steal from, that person gets dumped. So I am curious to see how this is going to all play out and how all of this is going to pan out. Or if it's just going to be a situation where whoever the couple of girls are who are not in a couple are just automatically dumped from the villa, or just automatically done with their time on the show. But it seems clear as day that production has had it with Leah. They're sick of her shenanigans, and they're trying to show who the real Leah is in this edit, you guys, because they have had it. Except for her fans, for some reason, are rebelling. And they don't want to see anything that is painting Leah in a negative light. And it's like they are Stevie Wonder to it all. They don't see any of it. And it's like, okay, as a fan, you have to acknowledge that your fave is messy. As a fan, you have to acknowledge your fave has not been on her, best of, being loyal to these girls, being friends. And that's why Rob made the comment, I see why that tweet happened. That the tweets about Leah now make sense. And even Leah agreed with that. So this will be very interesting moving forward. Like I said, we have a couple weeks left. We still have to do the heart rate challenge. We still have to do the family visit and all these things, the final dates, if they're going to send any of the other couples on a date. And then we still have to await the arrival of Harrison and Cassie. Now, I gave you my opinion on Cassie. I think her and Miguel are going to couple up. Harrison, I'm not sure, because I feel like he might try to rectify the Destiny situation by going after Janae. But I think Janae's pretty much all in on Kenny at this point. I don't think she's going to move on to Harrison. I think Harrison is better off setting his sights on Kaylor, because that is the person who is in the vulnerable couple. It's either going to be Kaylor or Liv. Which Liv, I feel like, could make a little bit more sense because they're both Australian and both from the same part. So I could definitely see them as a couple, even more so than Kaylor, because I feel like Kaylor's going to take back Aaron anyways, unless Aaron quits the show, which would be absolutely hilarious. But I don't think Aaron's going anywhere without Rob. The only way Aaron really is quitting is if Rob is gone. But we see a scene in the preview to where he finally gets exposed. There's more clips. There's more movie clips we have to react to on the Thursday episode. And he throws his mic somewhere. He takes off his mic and throws it out into the flowers or into the trees or somewhere and is basically done. But I don't know. I mean, how many of these Islanders have already said that they quit this season? Only for them to still be there. Rob has done it. Janae's done it. They've all said that they were done. Send them home, right? But then they get reeled back in, right? Because they're giving the content. They're giving the drama. They're giving the material. But that was pretty much the episode. We will be back Thursday to give our thoughts on the final, whatever is going to come out of this final movie night clips, and how they're going to bring in the bombshells and what's going to happen, how they're going to do the dumpings. I presume Friday we're going to get a fan vote. I presume we're going to get somebody that's dumped because the After Sun comes on Saturday. So I presume that maybe the recoupling is going to result in a dumping of the extra girls, which more than likely is going to be the Casa girls. And then after that, they'll bring in the last two bombshells, is what my interpretation of it is, right? So nonetheless, we will see what happens. I think the girls should have definitely brought back more of the Casa men because these men are just doing the bare minimum. the bare minimum and getting away with it. Like, it's weird. But nonetheless, we will be back to discuss this show some more. So let me know your thoughts on the movie night episode for the USA version in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.